Assalamualaikum to our lecturer and fellow friends. My name is Nur Amalin Shakira and I will be your MC for today. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you to this forum presentation. Today, we would like to talk about the issue of domestic policy in coordinating and administrating trade. There are 5 panels that will be involved in this forum. The first panel is Wan Nur Shahira, second is Khairus Nur Syakirin, the third one is Muhammad Alif Husaini, panel 4 Muhammad Amiruddin, and last but not least, which panel 5 is MOHD.SAING. So, what is domestic policy? Panel 1, can you elaborate what the meaning of domestic policy?
Thank you, moderator. My name is Wan Nur Shahira binti Wan Ismail. For domestic policy, domestic policy is a type of public policy overseeing administrative decisions that are directly related to all issues and activity within a state border. It differs from foreign policy, which refers to the way a government advances its interests in external politics. Domestic policy covers a wide range of areas, including business, education, energy, healthcare, law enforcement, money and tax, natural resource, social welfare, and personal rights and freedoms. According to Sailor 2022, policy analysis is international trade theory generally emphasizes the analysis of trade policy specifically. Trade policy include any policy that indirectly affect the flow of goods and services between countries, including import tariff, import quotas, voluntary export resistance, export tax, export subsidy, and so on. During the 1850s and 1890s, as trade barriers come down, especially between developed countries, more and more attention was brought to the effect of certain domestic policy types, including their international effects. In general, for small countries, domestic policy will affect domestic price, production levels, trade flows, and welfare, but not will affect foreign price, production level, and welfare. This means that countries like Malaysia may not need to worry about domestic practice in very small countries. However, when a country is large in international market, domestic policy will affect price, production levels, profits, and welfare, both domestically and internationally.
What a wonderful explanation. We know that everything has its own issue. Panel 2, can you give us some point about issue that happen in domestic policy?
Thank you, moderator. My name is Khairus Nur Syakirin bin Abdul Wahab. I want to explain my point about issues. Domestic policy issues are improving delivery and lowering tariff. Fixing policy and development are inextricably linked. The appropriate policy must be in place. Policy give rise to programs and initiatives aimed at expanding industry with the primary purpose of benefiting the public. Similarly, in policy formulation, there are always situations that seem to hinder progress toward the end goals. New circumstances may require a shift in policy direction. For example, successful regulation in a controlled environment will not be effective in uncontrolled content. The Domestic Shipping Act, RA 9295, often known as the Domestic Shipping Act Development Act 2004, DSDA. The regulation of the fair fixing aim to ensure competitive and reasonable tariff. The Philippines is becoming the net concern in the marine area in terms of improving maritime safety record. However, recurring marine incidents at this time emphasize the need to maintain attention to collision of the ROPEC Super Ferry 12 with the Sun Nicholas Ferry questioned the safety of the bark ship. As a result, the Maritime Industry Authority (Marina) implemented a program to phase out bark ship. Ship operators are angry because it means gradually destroying nearly two-thirds of the domestic shipping fleet.
Thank you for a good explanation from our panel. So we know that there also the issue must be related to SWOT analysis. Panel 3, can you elaborate some point about that?
Thank you, moderator, for allowing me to speak about my content. Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Alif Hussaini bin Muhammad Shafi'i, and I'm here to conduct an analysis in domestic policy. I will discuss the strength and the weakness. A resource or capacity that an organization can effectively use to achieve its goals is referred to as a strength. Time zones and high employment rate are among the domestic policy strengths. The first strength of domestic policy is the abundance of job opportunities. This is because the establishment of new sectors, particularly in the maritime industry, necessitates a large number of workers, which can create new job opportunities and help to reduce the country's unemployment rate. Furthermore, one of the strengths of domestic policy is the time zone. This is due to the fact that the time zones are nearly identical. This can also save time, for example, in the delivery of goods from one location to another, which takes only hours instead of days, and also saving the cost. Weakness prevent an organization from achieving its goals and objectives. Domestic policy flaws include market access and a lack of government support. The first drawback is a lack of market access. This is because market access is limited to domestic markets and does not extend to international markets. As a result, goods traded by local businesses cannot be marketed internationally. Furthermore, one of the weaknesses in domestic policy is the government lack of support. This is due to the fact that a lack of solid and strong government support in the form of insufficient funds can impede the smooth operation of trade activities, particularly in the maritime industry. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, panel 3, for the great explanation. Can panel 4 add some point about the analysis?
Okay, thank you, moderator. My name is Muhammad Razak. Some of opportunity that can be provided by domestic policing. The administration has committed to increasing the ability of state and local government, as well as voluntary group, to make responsive judgment. Decentralization is fundamentally decentralized when it comes to revenue sharing. As federally designed and funded matching grant programs has become an increasingly major component of state and municipal budget. Opportunity for flexible and discretionary action by state and local government have dwindled. Okay.
Thank you, panel 4, for a good explanation. So, if they have the issues, it must have the solution. Panel 5, can you give some point about the solution of our issue discussion?
Thank you, moderator. My name is Suhana binti Humasain. I'm here to talk about the solution of our issue discussion. The first issue discussed in the domestic policy is the Development Act of 2004. The regulation of fare setting aimed to keep tariff competitive and reasonable. In 1996, the first delivery fee was deregulated by DOSCON. Although delivery fees are no longer regulated, the Maritime Industry Authority Marina is still in charge of ensuring they are not extremely high. Marina must continue to improve its fare computation and fare monitoring capabilities. Over the years, Marina has worked to make entry into the domestic shipping business easier and more appealing to newcomers. Second issue is the construction of infrastructure at the port necessitates a large investment. The recent economic crisis, as well as current trend in the port and shipping sector, are to bear responsibility for the development. Local governments are likewise interested in expanding their local shipping sector since it would aid in the economic growth of their communities and secure their voters access to essential social service. As a result, the national government should also support local government in constructing required infrastructure such as port and access roads.
Thank you for the interesting information from our panels. Now, I have some questions that I'm very curious about. The panel first that about the opportunity of our topic analysis. How about the threat? Can you give us some example?
Okay, thank you for a good question. A threat is any unvulnerable situation in an organizational environment that has the potential to prevent a strategy from achieving an organization objective. The exchange rate and financing are among the three. Unexpected change in the exchange rate between two currencies causes this exchange rate risk. Multinational corporation, import export business, and foreign investor face exchange rate risk, particularly in the maritime industry. This has an indirect impact on the two parties trade this. Furthermore, one of threat to domestic policy is finance. Alright.
Thank you for the great explanation. Now, we are about to end our forum. I would like to thank all the panelists that spent their time for our forum today. It's a very good new information and explanation of topic about the issue of domestic policy in coordinating administrative trade. I hope we can meet again in another forum discussion. Thank you.
I know